Too Close to Touch have dropped their final album, For Keeps.
Not okay.
Which I'm is a bittersweet thing to say because on one hand it's the final album, but on the other hand we actually got
The
a
final album.
whole album's worth of material, that to know that this is it and there's like nothing else out there, like we got to hear the full scope of what Keaton had to offer and be able to take that forward into what will hopefully be a long life of appreciating his music in place of him dying young. And I really, really, really like most of the songs on here. I mean, it's hard not to when you have songs like Novocaine, Disappear, Hopeless. Really, I almost don't even consider this an album, even though I feel like Novocaine is an incredible opener and they don't even know is a closer. Because Hurt Reynolds and Designer Decay are both produced by, I believe, Elijah Witt from Cane Hill, which is why the Cane Hill features on there. So they sound a little different than the rest of the songs on here, which are all produced by Eric Ron. You know how I feel about Eric Ron. I would buy that man a drink every night if I could to show him like, hey, and so I see this more as a collection of songs than an album and a way to, it's for Keaton to share with everybody, for Keaton's legacy. Like, having said that, I don't love Designer Decay or Hurt Reynolds, which feels bad because I want to, but I feel like when you have songs on here that are this good and this well produced, the other ones just sound a little muddled. So it's like, you know what, whatever. Once I got over that and was like, this is just a collection of songs, I'm worried too much about, it being an album when I should just be sitting here appreciating Keaton's legacy. It made all of them much, much better, even the ones that I already thought were fantastic.
I feel like I didn't know that about what was it, Hurt Reynolds and Designer Decay. I guess I kind of figured it with Designer Decay, but I had a whole thing planned, but
oh yeah,
because I feel the same way about this album as I do about Dude 2. It's just okay.
Yeah, it's not great as an album, but I think it's an album in
it's not. Yeah, you're
only.
right. It's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's unreleased songs that they had, or they got their friends on for Keaton.
For keeps.
I mean, that's what it should be, man. And for what it's worth, like I say, I feel almost bad saying anything bad about Hurt Reynolds and Designer Decay. And truth be told, they're not even bad. It's just it's less for me than the Eric Ron sound is, and I think it's because that was my first introduction to this band, and that's what I hold dearest to my heart. But everything here is just really well executed, and I think something that's a little unsung about this is the fact that between a more acoustic sound like Heavy Hearts or a heavier one like Designer Decay, you get the full range of Keaton's voice.
Yep.
And that to me is the biggest bow on this whole project, is the fact that there's nothing like the fact that this is every unreleased song, the fact that it's the full range of his voice top to bottom, that this really was like Keaton encapsulated in a project. And so it's just the perfect final send-off. He's got 3 of his, as far as I understand it, closest friends, especially with Noah and Telly, like huge vocal influence on them. Like they're sharing this last final thing with
even
him.
the Death of Peace of Mind's album cover is influenced by
right? Like even so many bands just too close to touch, and Keaton especially, the unsung, well, hopefully more sung now. I mean, too close to touch is at over 1 million monthly listeners now, which is just so fucking absurd to me. But you know, the fact that this final project, this send off, this again encapsulation of what he could do, brought the band twice as popular as they were before, got Novocaine trending, like more of the world.
More than they were like 200, weren't they?
They were
Like
I
five
think
times.
yeah. Well, no. They were, but well, I guess maybe after Novocaine. I want to say before Novocaine, they were at around 400,000. They got a lot from Sympathy being played live.
That's
A
true.
lot of fans went back, and anyway,
It is
I
the
just
most played song.
yeah. Well, that was how I found them too, because it was on song radios for like Issues and I Prevail back in 2018. So, but yeah, it's just it hurts, but it's good to know that there's nothing left unsaid. That this was everything, and it's just a send off. It's like you put a picture of him in a paper boat, you know, and pushed it out to sea, type of thing. Like it's a memorial, and for it being a memorial, it is probably the best send off that I could have ever asked for, that they could have
We
given.
didn't deserve a send off either.
No,
Yeah.
no, fuck no. I fully expected to never get one. And I think that like that was one of the first thoughts that hit me when I found out Keaton died, because I couldn't touch their music for months. And I was like, you know, I imagine it's been a while. There's probably a lot of unreleased stuff, and I might not ever get to hear it. I might not get to hear Keaton again, like anything new. Like his voice is so special that I was like, fuck. Like, and there are plenty of artists like Garrett Garfield who will never get to hear if there's anything else. We'll never know. So that finality to know and to get to hear it and to experience it is just really something special. I can't view it as an album. It's a collection of songs that acts as a memorial, and in that capacity, it's the best possible outcome that I could have ever hoped for. And it makes me really happy. I can only imagine how much it makes the bandmates happy. I know there's that interview I want to go watch, but it makes me happy to know that so many other people are able to share in that. You know, it's one big community now gathering together behind one of the greatest vocalists, in my opinion, that's ever lived, to honor his life and his work. And it's just really, really special. So I'm sorry for rambling, by the way. Like, you guys.
No, you deserve to
just
ramble.
This
You
was
deserve
your
it.
band, brother.
Man, fuck me.
Put Derek Pog on the screen.
If there was ever a moment for you to go on a ramble rant about a band, it's Too Close to Touch.
I'm sad, but I'm happy. Novocaine, far and away the best song I've heard all year,
Yes.
by the way.
Yeah.
That Noah feature, ugh.
Yeah, I have
Gut
the lyrics
wrenching,
written down for that
beautifully
Noah
done.
feature if you wanted me to say it
Yeah,
real quick.
go.
If you still want to sing, fill in the blanks we need. You can do it through me while you're gone. In time, the price of peace will cost us everything, but all the love you leave carries on. So you can sing while
Gee.
you're away. Tell me the words you want to say. Give them to me and I'll relay. But no, it just won't be the same.
I'm sad that you
Well, why aren't we reviewing this one last?
Sorry, we got some.
I will
happy
also
album
mention
stuff.
that after all that, fucking Designer Decay, I think is my favorite.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it's
I would
been
not have
for some
anticipated
reason it's been the one that I've been going back to the most, and I don't know why.
For me, it's the first two tracks, Novocaine and Disappear.
Novocaine is also real good. I think I had Disappear and Control as my most played on there as well.
Yeah, Novocaine and Control for me are the standouts, but everything here is just, even the ones that I'm not as high on, it's still like, again, when you have Keaton, the floor is very high, and it's just it's not a sound I'm used to with them, which has kind of left me like, okay, I'm still in my figuring out the grieving process. Give me the Eric Ron. I have no doubt that in a couple of months, I'll go back to him and be like, wow, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, yeah, just very, very happy about this. Very sad about this, but very happy about this.
I feel like we've talked very generally about this album. Are there any specific moments in any of these songs that we want to highlight real quick?
The scream before the instrumental bridge in Hopeless.
Yes, that's definitely worth reiterating.
The isolated scream at the final chorus of Novocaine.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't change.
I mean, just
that.
the chorus in Novocaine in general, the trying to feel like I'm alive.
Yeah.
Just so powerful with Keaton's vocal delivery.
I guess that's one thing across like a lot of the songs on here that he really is able to convey is like you can hear how much he was struggling, but managed to still put out something that described that. Like you feel what he was going through before he passed in these songs and in the way he delivers it. It's like it's just such a unique voice and ability to do that, which consistently over the past since 2015, like nine whole years, or I guess 7, but hurts to think about. Yeah. Wow. Anything else before we move to some happier albums?
I don't got anything else to say.
This will be the last time we review Too Close to Touch.
Man, don't say that. Fuck you. I know it, but you didn't have to say it. Even though I said final album to start.
We talked about some other thing. That's like a year ago we talked about it, but I don't know if we'll ever do it.